So a couple of years back when I polished the aluminum on my dirt bike, I didn't have a decent polishing wheel at the time. So I ended up borrowing one from a friend, and today I want to build one very much like it using the stuff that you see on the floor here. So this is the motor that I want to use for this project, and it's from a sump pump, and it should be about 1/4 horsepower, and it's 1725 RPM. So it should provide a reasonable amount of grunt for getting that polishing wheel to do some work. This is the switch. See, this sump pump, it used to have a float, and it was activated here, and normally this thing would stand about 3 feet tall with its pump apparatus attached to it. So I'm going to use this old Chevy rim here as a base, and this is the piece I'm going to use so I can bolt it together. And you can see I've already marked it here where I want to cut it off. So I'll do that, and then I'll drill a couple of holes, and then I can bolt this piece right to the rim. So this is the motor mount that I want to use. So I'm going to need a piece that's going to bolt onto the motor mount. So while I'm out there cutting, I'm going to mark this piece right away, and mark it here, and on this end, cut that out. Sometimes I edit cricket noises into my videos. Today they just come naturally. So this piece, I've now got it clamped onto my motor mount, and the motor mount now shows me where to drill these holes so that the motor mount can bolt to the whole stand assembly. So I've got that piece of square tube, it's bolted to the rim now. And I'm going to take a piece of round tube, and I can weld this on already, and that's going to give some height to this whole assembly. And apparently I've got a visitor. So I also welded that top plate on, you know, where I drilled all those holes in there. And then so it's ready to accept this motor mount. So that's basically how it looks. I guess maybe I could tighten some bolts up down there. So the next part of the puzzle was, how am I going to mount this polishing wheel onto that shaft? So what I did is I went to the machine shop. Now I don't have a lathe, but they made this piece for me from scratch and did a pretty nice job of it. So this end fits nicely on the polishing wheel, and I can actually just bolt it right on there. And the other end fits nicely on the shaft. So I'm going to fire this thing up for you guys now. I've never seen it run with the polishing wheel on there. It looks like I'll have to back off some set screws to get this to fit. But let me assemble this all, and I'm going to fire this thing up for you guys.